Today we're looking at contour line, how to draw a contour line shoe. So once again, contour line is basically describing the shape of an object and also the interior lines as well, okay? So the first thing we did was break this up into what's called the envelope. So the envelope is the basic shape that this shoe possesses, okay? I've already sort of drawn that on my paper, so it's this sort of a shape right here. Okay, next part is looking at the heel and the front as it goes along the sole of the shoe. So coming in and allowing that envelope to sort of guide our direction in doing that. And I'll darken that up a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, and it rounds up here, okay? We're trying to establish the proportions of this shoe, and that way all the pieces and parts will be where they're supposed to be, and we'll have a lot less confusion towards the end here, okay? The next part I'm looking at is sort of divide this into sections. The first section I can divide it into is where the laces start, or stop rather, and it's sort of like this curved line that goes through here. So thinking about, adding in the tongue right here, and thinking about from here to the back of the shoe, which is back here, at what point does this line exist? Okay, so I'm going to say something like this. Once again, using those light lines, I can easily go back in and erase if I need to, okay? The next section is where the laces are, coming up towards the high top of the shoe, and they're pretty much on the same angle, maybe a little tilted, a little higher. Thinking about something like more along the lines of this, okay? So as you can see, it starts to take away from the envelope of the shoe, and we're starting to get into more of the shoe's actual shape, okay? The next section we're talking about is the laces. So think about the shape or space in which the laces are going to exist, okay? So it's going to be obviously past this first line we drew, and it's going to be into this section and coming up, okay? You see I'm kind of going outside the envelope, and that's fine. As we start to develop this, you make changes here and there, okay? Next section, talking about starting breaking up the patterns within the shoe. So right behind this first line I drew is going to be the second line that separates the black leather from the white. So that line is opposite curve, so that happens over here, okay? And it has a shape like this and a shape like this. Sort of some curves. And the shape that comes out. I'm already seeing how to make some adjustments. It's going outside the envelope. That's what sketching is all about. You're sort of figuring out there's going to be differences, and that's totally fine. So you're making your adjustments as you go. Okay, onto here. Next piece I'm worried about is this back heel. Okay, so we have this red section right here. Think about how much space there is from this section to here. And that Nike sign has to exist within there as well. Thinking about something like this. Okay, Nike sign running right across this line and coming out, and it's going to hit this second curve. Okay. So we're starting to establish the main part of the shoe right here. We can finish things off. As you can see, there's a pattern right here between the red and the black. So kind of look where that red starts. It's right on that second curve. And it actually matches this right here. Okay, so these two should be along the same lines. Okay, we can finish this up here, and as you notice, this is more of a curve versus straight, so we're going to sort of change that a little bit. Okay, and so that's a good part of the shoe right there. We can come in and do the sole of the shoe. I come in here, as well. So I'm gonna clean this up real quick just to give some more defined line. When I draw, I'm usually pretty sketchy with it, so okay, so we have our basic parts of the shoe, okay? From this point on, we can add in where these holes for the laces start, which is here and here. We can add on the laces themselves. Our first one's going to be coming out here, sort of like a loop. So thinking about, it's going to go out to maybe like right here. It comes out, ties back in, sort of loops around, like so. Just kind of a sketch of it. The second one is going to be something like that. There's those two top laces, and I'll make those more concrete as we go along here. So for each time you kind of observe the picture on your screen, you guys should have that image of the shoe already pulled up for yourselves. And as you come, just think about one lace at a time. How thick is it? What direction is it going? Notice how some laces are sort of attached to other laces. So this one's attached here. Okay, as you can see, I've gotten all the laces done, and I'm kind of through with the sketch portion of those, so I am using darker lines. Okay, so now what we need to do, we've gone general, we've sort of mapped out most of the shoe. Okay, so now we get going from general to a specific, okay? So let's focus on the first part of the shoe right here. So we do have the toe of the shoe that's coming up. We have this pattern that comes around. Okay, I'm gonna draw that lightly. So I'm pretty sure what that should look like. Let's make sure I can darken up those lines. Okay, and come up here. So we have this pattern of black and white happening, and I'm going to adjust that a little bit, a little smaller. Okay, and the rest of these lines are pretty much where they need to be. So I can just start darkening those up and erase whatever's left. Sometimes you gotta turn your paper a little bit just to get a better angle in your drawing, which is what I'm doing right now. Okay, so we're almost there. Let's define the Nike swoosh a little bit better. Okay. You know, I can go on to add like the stitching and everything like that, but this is a pretty good idea what the shoe should look like. So start working on that and finish it up.